Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. So, guys, if you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you've probably heard the whispers, the rumors, and now the buzz that's really starting to pick up steam. It's all about the Washington Commanders and their aggressive moves to strengthen their backfield, especially with the recent developments involving Austin Ekeler, the Chargers star running back who's aging at 30 but still producing at a high level. Ekeler's been a dynamic force, but with his age and the Chargers' uncertain future, the Commanders are eyeing something bigger, something that could really tip the scales in their favor moving forward. And that something is Breece Hall from the New York Jets. Now, this isn't just idle speculation. Ian Rappaport, one of the most trusted insiders in the league, has indicated that there are high-stakes talks happening behind the scenes. The Commanders are apparently in the mix, looking to add Breece Hall to their already promising backfield, and the Jets, well, they're listening. Why? Because the Jets are in a bit of a rebuild mode right now. They started the season 1-5, and their offensive line is struggling to protect Aaron Rodgers, who's completing just 58% of his passes, with 5 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. Certainly not the start they envisioned, and they're looking to shake things up. On the other side, the Commanders are sitting comfortably at 4-2, and what's really exciting is how their run game has been functioning so far. They're averaging around 115 yards per game on the ground, which isn't bad, but with the addition of a player like Breece Hall, that could skyrocket. Hall has been a shining star since he entered the league in 2022, and his current 2025 stats are nothing short of impressive. In just 6 games, he's already racked up 102 carries for 498 yards and 4 touchdowns, averaging nearly 5 yards per carry. That's the kind of explosive production you want from your running back, especially when you're trying to establish a more balanced, dangerous offense. His yards after contact are also noteworthy, around 3 yards per run, and he's broken through 25 tackles already this season, showcasing his ability to turn small openings into big gains. His career stats are equally impressive, with over 200 rushing yards, 20 touchdowns, and a PFF grade of 88, which puts him firmly among the league's top-tier running backs. Now, let's pause for a second here, because I want to highlight just how important Breece Hall could be for the Commanders. His addition could mean a significant boost in their offensive efficiency, especially in the run game. Currently, they're doing well, but adding someone like Hall could elevate that to another level, possibly pushing their rushing yards per game from 115 to around 165, a huge jump that would make them even more dangerous and unpredictable. Imagine the possibilities: more play-action success, better balance, and more opportunities for Sam Howell to connect on passing plays with more space and less pressure. And with Brian Robinson Jr. also in the mix, the Commanders could form a really balanced tandem, Robinson bringing that physical, between-the-tackles style, and Hall providing that explosive edge that defenses struggle to contain. This kind of duo not only increases their ground attack, but also opens up the playbook for more RPOs, which is something Howell has been improving on this season. Their combined presence could really elevate the offensive EPA on rushing plays, giving the Commanders a much more dynamic and versatile attack. And what about the Jets? Well, they're in a different situation altogether. With a cap space of roughly $14 million, they're trying to rebuild their offensive line while also focusing on extending players like Garrett Wilson. But trading away Hall, who's earning about $10 million in cap space, signals that they're prioritizing other assets at the moment, possibly looking to draft or acquire linemen to protect Rodgers better and improve their overall defense, which is allowing around 27 points per game. It's a tough position for them, but it's a strategic move that might pay off in the long run. They are clearly in a rebuild mode, and giving up on Hall might be a part of that, especially if they're aiming to stockpile draft picks for the future or focus on other positions. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Commanders. If they manage to acquire Breece Hall, the impact could be seismic. The projections suggest that Hall could add over 300 yards rushing to their total, propelling their run game from 115 yards per game to an eye-popping 165. That's an 18% increase in play-action success, which is huge because it opens up the entire offense. Howell's efficiency on RPOs could jump from around 0.20 to nearly 0.37, making him much more effective and less predictable. And it's not just about the rushing yards. Hall's ability to break tackles and gain extra yards after contact means he can turn small opportunities into big gains, which is exactly what the Commanders need to compete with the top teams in the league. In terms of statistical impact, Hall's presence could boost the entire rushing attack, adding around 250 yards per game compared to their current output. He's a proven playoff performer too, with a career average of over 5 yards per carry in the postseason. Comparing him to other league stars, Hall's projected production easily rivals top backs like Derrick Henry, especially in high-stakes moments. The NFL oddsmakers, like PointsBet, have adjusted the Super Bowl odds for the Commanders from +7.0 to around +3.200, reflecting the increased confidence in their potential to make a deep playoff run with Hall in the mix. The team's odds of reaching the championship game or even winning it could improve significantly if they pull off this trade. The playoff projections are also looking promising, with a forecast of around 12.5, and their chances of reaching the NFC Championship are climbing. This situation is reminiscent of some of the most impactful trades in recent NFL history, where teams have transformed their fortunes by making bold moves at the deadline or in the offseason. The Titans with Derrick Henry, for example, or the recent success of teams that have added explosive backs to their roster. The Commanders, with their current roster and the potential addition of Hall, are positioning themselves as serious contenders. Their defense has been solid, allowing only about 20 points per game, and now with an improved ground game, they could become a nightmare for any opponent. This could be the turning point for their season, especially if they can leverage this upgrade to push into the playoffs and beyond. And of course, we have to consider the historical context. The Commanders have always been a team that emphasizes a strong running game, dating back to their glory days. With the current roster, they're trying to rekindle that spirit, and adding a player like Hall could be the spark they need. It's about creating a balanced attack, reducing the pressure on Howell, and giving their defense more rest and opportunities for turnovers. All of this points to a team that's not just trying to win a few games, but aiming for consistent, sustainable success. Their coaching staff, led by head coach Ron Rivera, has shown a willingness to adapt and make bold, strategic decisions. This potential trade is exactly that, a bold move that could define their season and set the tone for the future. Now, looking ahead, the trade deadline is approaching, and the buzz is only going to intensify. The Jets, with their rebuild in full swing, might decide to part ways with Hall if the right offer comes along, especially with the Commanders showing serious interest. If they do, it could be a game-changer not just for Washington, but for the entire NFC East. The division is already competitive, but with the Commanders strengthening their ground game and the Eagles and Cowboys fighting their own battles, this could be the move that puts Washington ahead in the race for the division title and playoff positioning. In conclusion, folks, keep a close eye on this story because it's unfolding right before our eyes. The potential acquisition of Breece Hall by the Washington Commanders isn't just a rumor. It's a strategic play that could reshape their offense and elevate their entire team. With the current state of the NFL, where explosiveness and versatility are king, having a back like Hall could make all the difference. So, as we approach the trade deadline, brace yourselves for what might be one of the most exciting moves of the season. The Commanders are making moves, and it looks like they're ready to challenge for a serious playoff push, possibly even more. The NFC East is heating up, and Washington is positioning itself at the forefront. Stay tuned because this story is far from over, and we'll be here to bring you all the latest updates, analysis, and insights. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.